Welcome to the Explainer. So, when you put your hard-earned money into the market, what are you really doing? Are you actually building long-term wealth, or are you maybe just rolling the dice? It's one of the most fundamental questions in finance, and today, we're going to find the answer.
Investing, speculating, gambling. These words get thrown around all the time, right? Sometimes people use them like they mean the same thing, but they don't. Not even close. They are completely different approaches with wildly different outcomes. And to cut through all that noise, we're going to turn to a master of clarity on this very topic.
That's right, we're going to lean on the framework of the legend himself, Warren Buffett, to get a crystal clear understanding of the crucial differences between these activities.
Okay, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why Buffett is our guide. Then, we'll break down each of these three profiles: the investor, the speculator, and the gambler. And finally, we'll help you figure out where you might fit in. So, let's get right into it.
All right, first things first, why are we listening to Warren Buffett on this? What makes him the authority?
Well, that number kind of says it all, doesn't it? That's the result. And believe me, that doesn't come from luck. It's built on a super disciplined philosophy, a philosophy founded on a rock-solid understanding of what it truly means to invest.
So let's start with Buffett's gold standard, his home turf, the investor.
Now pay close attention, because this part right here is the absolute key to his entire philosophy. An investor buys something because of what it can produce. The entire focus is on his productive capacity. That's it.
You see, for an investor, it's not about buying some ticker symbol on a screen. No, it's about buying a piece of a real, breathing, operating business that actually creates something of value in the world. Buffett has this brilliant way of explaining it. He says, to think of it like buying a farm. You wouldn't really care what someone would pay you for the farm tomorrow, would you? Of course not. You'd care about how much corn it can grow, what your profits are going to be. The farm's output is what matters.
And this quote, wow, it just says it all. Think about that. If you wouldn't be comfortable owning a stock if the market just shut down for 5 years, are you really investing in the business? For Buffett, all the daily chatter and price swings are just noise. What matters is if the business itself is solid.
Okay, so that's the investor's long-term mindset. Now, let's totally flip the script and look at a completely different animal, the speculator.
Did you catch the shift? It's huge. The focus is no longer on what the asset can produce. Now, it's solely about what someone else, some other person, will pay for it later.
Buffett talks about this like the difference between a goose that lays golden eggs, that's your productive asset, and something like a bar of gold or Bitcoin. Those things, they just sit there. They don't produce anything. Their value depends entirely on someone else coming along and deciding to pay more for them down the road.
So yeah, a speculator is often way more interested in those squiggly lines on a chart than in the actual health of the company behind it. It's all about riding the price wave. All right, and that brings us to our third and final profile, which takes things a step even further: the gambler.
So if the speculator is at least looking at charts, the gambler just throws all of that out the window. Any illusion of analysis is completely gone. This is purely about putting money on an outcome and, well, hoping for the best.
They're not trying to figure out market psychology or technical trends. Nope. They are simply making a bet on a straightforward win or lose situation.
It's exactly what the source material calls placing a bet and then praying. The goal has nothing to do with business growth or market prices. It's just about winning that one bet. There's no underlying value being created here at all.
So let's pull this all together, because honestly, understanding these differences, it's the key to understanding your own actions and making smarter decisions.
This chart right here puts everything into perfect perspective. Just look at that top row. Focus. Is your attention on a business's ability to produce, like an investor? Or is it on the price movement, like a speculator? Or is it just on a chance event, like a gambler? Your answer to that one question pretty much tells the whole story.
Now that you know these definitions, you can be way more intentional about what you do with your money. And look, the goal here isn't to judge anybody's approach. It's simply to have clarity. Because clarity, that's the foundation of any good financial strategy.
At the end of the day, when you know which game you're playing, you automatically understand the rules, you know the risks, and you have a better idea of the potential rewards. So the question to leave you with is this: are you playing the game you think you're playing? Thanks for watching.